Welcome back to the Yee Podcast. It is another beautiful day here at the Yee Farm, Georgetown, Texas.
Really pretty right now, everywhere.
Thanks for putting up. You may hear some tape and some boxes being packaged below us because there are a lot of people here at the farm working because of all you guys who are taking part in our Memorial Day sale where we have like the entire store up to 50 to 60% off right now.
Which is our biggest sale, Parker, of the year?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Besides Black Friday.
Yeah.
Their stuff's 60% off. That's pretty big.
Yeah. We don't do that very often, but we had a lot of stuff and we made too much. And so, yeah, it's one of those rare times where we get to just give an awesome deal to everybody.
Yeah, and a lot of this stuff that we're selling like for 50, 60% off, like we're probably losing a little bit of money because some of the items cost so much to make, like the Realtree Vanguard jacket is, you know, and we've all had Cooey and Sitka and jackets over the years. I think this is just as good, if not, I'd probably say even better, because we took years to make that thing down to the wrist, the specs, the fit, the comfort, the colors, everything. And it's on sale right now. I don't know when will this launch while the sale is still going? Yeah, so when this is live, this is going to be the last day of the sale. So if you're on the fence about getting that Vanguard jacket, I mean everything, but I would pick that up because it's only like, typically it's $180.
Yeah.
Normal price, and now it's like half off or something.
Man, I was kind of thinking as you're talking, I think I need to get one. I don't think I have one of those.
You should, because some of these things we never do again. They're one-offs.
Let me grab one today. Yeah. Hey, looking around, who did all this organization up here?
Up here in this room?
Yeah.
The guys, Andre and Nye.
Oh, with the boxes?
It's like really nice up here.
Oh, yeah, it does look nice.
Yeah, Laney headed it all up and got them to do it.
Yeah, I need to tell her thank you. She crushes it.
This is so good.
Yep.
Hey, Parker, I noticed you were doing push-ups when we walked up here.
Yep.
Are you training for the Murph?
I'm not doing the Murph.
What?
Yeah.
Are you doing it?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
I mean, I'm coming in hot, limping in, but
I hurt my knee worse than I ever have in my entire life, and I was like concerned for my ACL because I had surgery on my ACL knee when I was 11 years old, and yeah, I literally couldn't walk, so I couldn't go on evening walks with Amy. I couldn't do my morning prayer walks, and I was like, this is stupid. It has to be from the Murph training.
From just jogging?
Which is a shame because Tyler and I were like jogging every day. I was doing like super high volume of squats to get ready to do. So for those who don't know, then I'll shut up about it because we've already talked about this, but the Murph is a workout where you do 1 mile run, you do 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, and 300 squats, and then you run another mile, all with a 20-pound weight vest. And so Tyler and I were training for it, and I was enjoying training for it because I like something to.
Real quick, it's for Lieutenant Michael Murphy, who died in combat in Afghanistan, defending his buddies. It's based off the lone survivor. Our friend Marcus Luttrell was actually there and helped with the movie and was in the movie and all that. So
yeah. And so I was enjoying the training, but my knee started killing me to where I couldn't even do day-to-day stuff, and I couldn't think of anything else that it was from. And then I like hurt my wrist, and I was like, yeah, this is stupid.
So I'll jump in here because I started training for it probably in January, thinking that I was going to do it Memorial Day, and then I got hurt. Then I come to find out everybody was getting hurt. Like Steven got hurt.
Dude, I got hurt.
Like Joey, I think, got hurt. You got hurt. Parker got hurt.
I hurt my calf because I don't ever run, and so my muscles are like, what are you doing? So I had to stop running, and then, dude, I did that because of the pull-ups. That's what I was like, oh, no.
So I don't care. I don't have any shame. It sounds like such weakness to say this on this podcast. But yeah, the pull-ups is what got me. This morning I did 300 squats this morning, which just is horrible. It hurts, but I did it this morning. Push-ups are fine for me. Running, I hate running. I'm not a good runner, but I could push through that. But it's the pull-ups. And it's not necessarily the strength. This started for me in 2019 when I started getting tendonitis. It started when I read that book by David Goggins.
Can't
and he
hurt
was
me.
doing the pull-up competition, and I was like, I'm pretty good at pull-ups. How many could I do? And I just was doing over and over and over, and then all of a sudden, boom, at my elbows, I got tennis elbow. And so then it happened again in about February. I got tennis elbow, and I remember last time how bad that hurts when you get tendonitis. You can't close a car door. Like, you could barely hold a toothbrush. Like, it's horrible. So I was like, oop, I'm out of the Murph. I'm not doing it. But then I heard you guys getting hurt and Steven get hurt, Steven's one of our pastors at our church. He got hurt, and he's kind of leading this deal. He gets hurt. Everyone, and so then I was like, well, then maybe I should just do it modified. And then that's what Steven said in the email. He's like, hey, this is not about pride. Come on in. And if you want to modify it, go ahead and do it. So I'm going to do like a cable pull down instead of pull-ups.
Yeah, isn't it crazy to think about Lieutenant Murphy? I need to Google this. Maybe Brian can, but he did it every day.
But he was also in his low 20s, which is huge. That's literally half my age. It's 20 years younger than me, or more than 20 years younger than me. So I'm not saying that doesn't make it easier, but I mean, that doesn't make the workout easier, but it certainly makes it easier on a body that's just more limber, half my age. And that explains why all of us, even Parker, who's low 30s, is literally getting injured from just the training. And I haven't used the 20-pound vest yet. Are you going to use 20-pound vest?
I mean, Ben Spalding's going to show up with one, so I feel like I should.
I'm
I don't
going
have
to.
one. Are you going to buy one, like on Amazon?
I have one. I bought it at the beginning of this training, but I literally quit training because I was like, I'm not doing it. But then I felt convicted. I was like, why? And I'm going to Cuba at the end of June. And so I need something to spark my physical training anyway, because I don't want to get in those mountains and feel horrible. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do the Murph, and I'm going to do my modified version. It's not about winning it, but I'm going to do it. Then that'll help me into Cuba training with the vest.
Oh, it'll be a little bit about winning it. That thought will come in your mind. I know you.
Yeah, but as I was doing the squats today, I was thinking, I was going down. I was like, cheating. You're cheating. You're not all the way down. You're not,
I was thinking that too. I was so like, it's like thinking of like Coach Everett or a coach watching you. He'd, in your mind, your flesh or whatever is like, I hope no one's watching me because I know these, and you're only cheating yourself. And like,
even push-ups, like 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5. Like, that's how I would be counting when I'm cheating. But anyway, sorry, you said we've talked about this a lot, so
no, that's all right.
I just saw you doing push-ups, and I did those squats this morning.
Well, Aaron's gonna I talked to him this morning. He's gonna try to do what he can too. Like, nobody's really gonna finish it like perfect, but he's gonna do it, and then he's gonna also cook like some eggs, like taquito or breakfast tacos.
Dude, that would be a good motivation.
Watermelon and stuff like
smelling that, and it would make you want to hurry up. And are you guys gonna do all pull-ups, all push-ups, all squats at the same time?
I'm doing no push-ups, no pull-ups, no squats.
No, I'm gonna do.
You should just go at least help cook. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna do sets of 10 pull-ups.
Sorry about the tape, guys. If you're listening,
10 pull-ups, 20 push-ups, 30 squats,
and then back,
and then go back.
So I started. Here we are talking about this again. Sorry, I started monitoring my physical, like how long it takes me and my fatigue going back and forth. And I think I've discovered I'll do better and I can do it quicker and more efficient if I stick with one exercise and finish it. Because I tried what you're saying, and on paper what you're saying sounds easier, but I actually think it might be harder. Because if you say you're doing push-ups and you want to do 200, you do 50. I could do like 50, break for a second, do 20, break for a second, 20, break for a second, 15, break for a second, 15, break for a second. And then when you get down towards the end, you like stop, do 5, stop for 2 seconds, do 5 more, stop for 5 seconds, do 5 more, and you just knock it out really quick.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. What do you start with? Push-ups, pull-ups, or air squats?
Besides the run, obviously, probably the pull-ups, which I'm going to do lat pull downs. Yeah. Finish with, so the last thing I do is air squats and then run and fall over and throw up.
Granger, you mentioned high school the other day. Tyler sent a picture of you and Dad when you were in 7th grade football. Maybe Brian can put this on YouTube. He'll probably forget, but maybe you'll remember. Maybe. If you're watching this on YouTube, this picture of you, this is 7th grade, you said?
I think so, yeah.
Which would put Dad at how old?
It looks so 90s.
I think that puts Dad at like 42, 41.
So Dad was Tyler's age there.
Yeah.
Oh, every time I see Dad, he's just such a stud. I'm like, I wish I could be like Dad.
Dad is such a stud, man. Yeah, I know.
So that would have been prime.
We'll do
Look at his
some
neck.
Granger introduced to workouts for the first time. You look like
I look
London in that picture.
I like
Amy
a
said.
skinny toothpick.
Your
All
face
right.
looks like London.
So say that was 1993. Yeah, that would have made him 41. 41. How old are you?
41.
Yeah. God, that didn't work out at all. He was just naturally, his neck was thick, man.
Yeah. That's funny. I texted y'all. I was at a 7-on-7 game the other day at a stadium, and I hadn't been to a high school stadium in like years, and I was thinking about like my son, Lord willing, eventually, like if he wants to play sports, being at that level as a parent, it's got to be such an interesting age. And then you play it, you experience it yourself, and then once your kids get to that age, it's just like such an interesting phase of life. And then you'll be done whenever Mav graduates. Then
I found
that
myself
season will be over again.
knowing where your kids are going to go. My first, and maybe this is sin, I don't know. You can maybe tell me, but the first thing I looked up was football program. First thing. Instead of like, do they love Jesus? What do they tell people, their kids about Jesus? It's like football. And I just went down a rabbit hole. It's like, Googling and ChatGPT, like how many kids from this school have gone on to the NFL? Like just trying, like worrying about Lincoln, like because he loves football so much. And then finding out at 6-man, I was like, oh no, okay. How many NFL players from the school? It was like 0, obviously. How many people have ever gone from 6-man to NFL? And it was like 5. And then like how many go to college? Because I was thinking about Lincoln. I was like, wait, this is probably probably shouldn't be thinking this, because I was getting upset. Like he needs to be at Westlake or Lake Travis or like 6A, like powerhouse Texas football. Yeah, we grew up in that. Like
yeah, but
we idled that. Well, that was idolatry in a way for us.
Yeah, we also know how that turns out.
Yeah, yeah.
We know 20 years from then, we know what it's like to be a Westlake graduate at 40. And it's like, well, I don't know if I want that.
And the chances of going to
NFL,
yeah,
we know that works out too.
I was lucky enough to go play in college and get scholarships.
You don't believe in luck.
Well, yeah.
I was going to ask you, looking at that picture of me and Dad, and he's 41 and you're 41. When I think of Dad and I think of that version of Dad, it's like that before he died.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. And do you think of that now when you look at that and you're like, that's him there. A blink of an eye, he dies. He died at 61.
Oh, man. Yeah, I have a dude.
So from you know how fast you're 41. You know how fast 21 to 41 went. Well, 41 to 61 is when Dad died.
Dude, I don't know what it is or what the Lord's trying to teach me in this season, but I just feel a weight of heaviness with people. 2 things: people that I love dying, like Jim, and then Minnie being 99 and the struggle she's dealing with, and then the second thing, which is kind of the same thing, is like the brevity of life, the quickness of life, and eternity, and like salvation, and the urgency of like, hey, the day of salvation is today.
Man,
it's today.
I was reading 2 Corinthians 6 today. Yeah, today is the day. But yeah.
Do you feel that ever? Or is
no,
it just in a season that I'm in of weight of like...
No, I feel it constantly.
Speaking of what you just said about Dad, it's a blink of an eye. I'm already 41. Lord willing, I'll see tomorrow.
I feel that every day, for sure. But it's also, it's It is a heaviness, but it's not a sadness. It is a weightiness, but it's not an anxiety. It's more of a.
It's a sadness. It's a little bit of a sadness.
Okay. I agree. It's a bit of a sadness, but it's not a depression.
No.
It's an
urgency.
It's an urgency, yes. And I feel like when I lay my head on the pillow at night, man, my life these days is nothing but ministry. Really, from the minute I wake up. Hey, Aaron, how soon do we start talking about the gospel in the morning? 6:30 a.m. When do we finish talking about the gospel at night? About 10 at night. We were on there. Aaron yesterday, and we started talking about 6 about the gospel, and we ended talking about 10 p.m. about the gospel, and with different people all in between. Like I'm in all these different groups now on Signal. So when I lay my head down, though, I'm like, Lord, today was enough. Like if you take me tonight, if I don't wake up, if I have a stroke in my sleep tonight, it was enough because it was packed. Today was packed with sharing the gospel or expanding the idea of the gospel. So,
but we live in a fallen world.
Yeah.
We're sinners, destined for something more. We're children of God. We're aliens on this planet, but we still are in our flesh. We still are in our sin. We still struggle with thoughts and sadness. And so you're just saying, make sure your gospel is filled more. Your cup is filled more with Jesus.
Yeah. What you're saying describes Paul's life, to a T. He lived with a heaviness, a burden for the lost, a sadness, like you said, for that. I wish you would be saved. I wish you would know Jesus. But it was also always balanced with, but I'm so joyful to live as Christ and to die as gain. He saved me, and what better thing could there be? So Paul expresses those depending on who he's talking to, who he's writing to. He balances both of those things, but Paul lived very much in the present, very much in the moment, where Paul would tell you that if he died at any point in his life, it would have been good enough. So I feel that same thing. I think you do too. Like in the old days, we used to think, I can't get hit by a train. That's what Trace Atkins used to say to me. I can't get hit by a train because I have this album coming out in September. I need this album to come out because I need people to hear. I need my family to be taken care of by this. He used to tell Frank Rogers, like, hey, let me know how I can get a vocal on these songs just in case I die before I finish this up, so my wife and kids could have some money. Like, we don't live in that world. We live in a world where it's like, Lord, you take me today, and it's been enough. In fact, my prayer, part of my prayer every morning, one of my prayers in the morning is Maranatha.
Is what?
Maranatha. Mm-hmm. Like, come, Lord Jesus. Come quickly. I can't wait to see your face. So we live in a tension between, I can't wait to see your face. I can't wait to see what you have in store for me. And on the other side of the tension is, but there's work to do here.
There's work to do. And if you wake up, for the listeners, for us, if you wake up tomorrow, your eyes open, the Lord's not done with you yet.
Yeah. So it's cool. It's a man, what a joy. I'll finish that idea with just what a privilege, what a joy it is to have another day in service of the Lord. Yeah. I will say on a lighter note with sports, when you're talking about Lincoln, yesterday we played, he's like, because now he thinks I want to play baseball because he sees his new school has baseball.
Dude, we were playing in the yard at Parker's. He was hitting everything.
Bro, that kid is way better than I ever was at anything.
I see me and him a lot with the competitiveness, and you too, but he's way more competitive than I was.
I know.
And I don't know, I'm not ready yet to say he was more talented than me.
Bro,
that's the pride in me speaking, but
he picks up the baseball and a glove. The dude's never played baseball in his life on any kind of organized team, only backyard stuff. And he goes, hey, Daddy, kneel down. I'm going to try to pitch. I'm going to try to strike out a batter. And he was like, wham, strike, wham, strike. wham, like 3 in a row. And I was like, my hand was sore. I said, what is up with you, Stretch Armstrong? How do you... He just sees something on YouTube and goes, I could do that. Crazy. But yeah, the competitive, I think it's a little bit of a negative, actually.
In what way?
As long as it'll be a positive as long as we continue to mold him and point him like the tip of an arrow and not a blunt hammer. Because right now he's a blunt hammer.
Yeah, there's so many things.
Like he gets pissed. He cannot lose.
Does he have
have
friends that are competitive as well?
Yeah.
Because I think that's really important. Like Chris Ryan, Alexander Webb, Mark Marinick, Kyle, all of us, we're so competitive with you, and it just raises the bar. And then as a team, you become so much better because you love each other. You fight. You hate when you're competing in practice and stuff like that. You want to win. Dude, these guys used to throw things and from video games to everything.
That's Lincoln. He can't stand to lose. So I'm trying to, help him kind of manage that a little bit because he gets really upset.
You don't want him to be the player that, like Chris Ryan, that takes his helmet off and throws it across the field and then you're suspended.
So I wonder if Chris Ryan listens to this podcast, but
I'll send it to him.
So the other thing about Link is that right now we've been going to the track a few times because he's also into track. He watches who's that really fast sprinter, American sprinter for the U.S. team?
Noah Lyles.
Yeah, Noah Lyles. He watches him all the time. He has like spikes. Lincoln has spikes and everything. He's not even in a track season right now. Dude,
I don't know what's going on. Sorry, Parker. We're kind of dominating over here, but I don't know what's going on with athletes these days. I know we progressively evolve in nutrition and training regimens, but some of these high school kids I've seen lately are all like running under 10, 100 meter, like 9.8s and stuff. So at official track times.
To that point, we go to the track and I'll race him, but I have to go at full speed to beat him right now. So we do 100, a 200, a 400, and I'm like doing when I did the 200 the other day against him, I thought I had him pretty good. Like I took him on the first curve, and then by the straightaway, I kind of started striding a little bit, and then I heard this little pitter patter behind me. I was like, "This dude's about to pass me." So I had to.
I want to come do that with y'all,
dude. I had to give it everything I had, and then at what we call the wood run, and we have that trail at my house behind my house, and he had the 1:07, 1 minute 7 second record. So last night I was like, I'm about to beat you, dude. I have to beat you. So I ran it in 1:05. So the new record now is 1:05. But I was running with everything I had to beat his 1:07. And he's only 11 years old. Like I'm screwed.
You got about a year left.
I got about a year, and he's going to beat me in everything. And if he has the size of Amber's brother or
or dad.
Or our dad, yeah, he's going to beat me in everything.
It kind of segues nicely into the
to the summer launch. No,
the brevity of life, and like to teach you to number your days and how God creates us to, a guy is usually like known for his strength and like that's his thing, and so we get older and our knees hurt and we can barely walk and our hips hurt and can't do pull-ups anymore, and then there's always going to be another young guy who could run faster and farther and be stronger than you ever were, and it's humbling and humiliating as you get older. And then the Lord, Amy and I were talking about this the other day about aging and how women are known for their their beauty. And then as they get old, they, their looks fade and they get old and their hair turns gray and they get wrinkly, and then guys get scrawny and weak and they can barely walk. And it's like Amy said, it reminds me of when she was pregnant, and like 5, 6, 7 months, you're really nervous to have the baby. And then once 9 months comes around, you're just like, I'm just ready to have this baby. And she was like, I wonder if people, once you get to a certain age, finally, like, not that you're like, all right, I'm just ready to die, like, but there's a sense in which like the Lord sets it up to where it's like, there's got to be a sense of relief for you as a Christian once you're old and your body's worn down and you're just like, wow, I'm going to get a new body and be with Jesus forever. You know?
Yeah. I think we see that for sure.
I was thinking about, while you guys were kind of talking about that, I was just still thinking about, I think about this all the time, and there's just so many verses about teaching you to number your days. I mean, I had ChatGPT just pull up 10 verses about the brevity of life or the shortness of life, and it's just like, James 4, what is your life? You're a mist that appears for a little time and then vanishes. Psalm 39, Lord, make me know my end, and what is the measure of my days? Let me know how fleeting I am. You have made my days a few handbreadths, and my lifetime is as nothing before you. So this psalm, you're literally praying to God, please let me know how fleeting I am.
Yeah.
Remind me. It's such an interesting prayer. Another one is, teach me to number my days. Psalm 144, man is like a breath. Job 14, man who is born of a woman is of a few days and full of trouble. He comes out like a flower and then withers. He flees like a shadow. I mean, it's just over and over again. And it's interesting. It just kind of clicked that, like, there's a way that they're modeling for us to ask God to help us to remember that, which is not something that the world wants to remember. Everyone wants to forget the fact that each day we're careening toward death on an icy mountain. And Matt McCullough's book, Remember Death, he says people think we're on this like slow march towards death. And eventually one day in the far distant future it'll be here. And he's like, death is actually like, we're all on this icy mountain careening toward it. And it's going to hit us way faster than we think. But that's Satan's trick, is to just make you think that you're going to live forever and to not think about that.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's also interesting to think from like a non-Christian point of view, like in the business world. You know how people are like, oh, you're young, you got a lifetime to figure it out. People like Hormozy Parker would be like, hey, there needs to be urgency, like right now, like everything, my mind just turns to biblical. But yeah, it's so cool how the Bible, like, if I'm dealing with like this heaviness, like I was saying, I'm not the only one that's ever felt that. And Jesus gives, stories and men in the Bible that were thinking the same thing I was, and he has the answers and the truth in his word for us to get comfort from, with whatever you're dealing with, man or woman. You're not the only one that's ever thought that thought or felt that way.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why I love the old hymns so much. They almost always, those stanzas end remembering that you're going to die, you're going to face God in judgment, and then if you're saved, you'll be in heaven forever. The old hymn, Rock of Ages. I love listening to these. If you guys ever want to listen to hymns, like a cappella style, you can type in Capitol Hill Baptist Church on Apple or Spotify and type in a hymn and it'll probably show it. But the end of Rock of Ages is, while I draw this fleeting breath, when mine eyes shall close in death, when I soar to worlds unknown and see thee on thy judgment throne. Rock of Ages, cleft for me, let me hide myself in thee. Precious Lord, which is another one that's like one of my favorite hymns of all time. It ends with, when the darkness appears and the night draws near and the day is past and gone, at the river I stand, guide my feet, hold my hand, take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. And it's just like, so they all are just like they all kind of culminate at death in that moment.
Yeah.
It's always, it was always on those old hymn writers' mind, in the Puritans' mind. It's always remembering the end.
Yeah, it's so good, man. See, I was thinking about as we compete, Lincoln and I compete in the race. Right now, the running, he's catching me, but then it comes the physical side. Like, then it'll be bench press. He'll be coming in here to the office saying...
Bench press won't happen for a while. I remember Kyle Williams in high school when we were seniors, who went on to play in the NFL and USC and won all those championships with Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush. I could outbench him seniors in high school. So some people will like have great strength and speed, and other people, like the It takes a while, I think, for the strength.
He'll be coming
You
in
should
saying,
have
"Hey,
him.
Tata, how much can you bench? Let's go put some plates on."
Yeah. he probably will pass you like in college. Because you can still, you're super strong.
He might never pass me.
Or that, maybe. No, he will when he's in his prime.
Yeah.
If he likes lifting and if he plays football.
Yeah, that's true. How's David doing? How's David's upper body strength?
Dude, have you seen him throw a ball? Best baby I've ever seen at his
Really?
age. Like, no, I know I'm biased.
His mama's literally a pro athlete.
But, dude, he will throw the ball in a straight line, perfect, right to you. And, dude, he can catch a ball with his hands.
That's crazy.
Parker and Amy say, put your hands out. And you toss it to him, he will catch it. It's insane.
Man.
Yeah, he's got a little arm.
Amy's the most athletic girl I've ever seen.
That-
So he's got some great genes.
Yeah, that would not surprise me. He's incredibly athletic.
He's on a kick right now. Like his new thing this week is he likes to sit in your lap, and so he like just learned how to walk backwards like this week. So he'll walk up to you, and then he'll turn around, and then he'll like squat and back up just because he wants to sit in your lap and like show that affection. So it's like it's like so fun that he's like finally to that age where he knows his dad and he like wants to come and just sit in his lap, you know, even if you're not doing anything. So it's so sweet.
That's cool.
It's fun being a dad.
Until they get about 3 and you got to spank them.
He's like right at the cusp of his innocence. It's about to end. He'll like, Amy will take something from him and he'll throw a tantrum and like try to hit her now. And it's like, so that's just now starting to come out. And it's like going to be like a time of mourning for us as we like now start to spank and like have to be like, oh man, you are just a little selfish sinner. We love you, but
It's so crazy that in his
you're
mind,
full of folly.
how in his mind it occurs to him, I should hit the one that's been feeding me for all these years.
It makes you really think about the fall and the seed of Adam and the depravity of man. Like this cute little baby, inside of him, something is really sick. And like we love him, he loves us.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like be a nihilist about it, but there's a real sense of the fall that you see when you have children. That is really interesting to see the fall. Like the Bible says that children are full of folly. And as a parent, you're to discipline them, to get the folly out of them, to teach them the way of life, you know, for their safety, so that things would go well for them, so that they could obey authority. And it's so interesting. That's like even this little, he barely knows like 10 words, and yet he knows that when you're trying to take something dangerous from him, and you save him, and he turns and he wants to hit you in the face and bite you because of it. It's just like, where does that come from? You know, your heart, something is sick with your heart and you need Christ.
Jeremiah 17:9 says, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately sick. Who could understand it? That's crazy. Blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord, whose trust is the Lord. He is like a tree planted by water that sends out its roots by the stream and does not fear when heat comes, for its leaves remain green, and is not anxious in the year of drought, for it does not cease to bear fruit. And then right after that, Jeremiah writes, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately sick. Who could understand it? And verse 10, I, the Lord, search the heart and test the mind, to give every man according to his ways, according to the fruit of his deeds. Like the partridge that gathers a brood that she did not hatch, so is he who gets rich, but not by justice. In the midst of his days they will leave him, and at his end he will be a fool.
The problem is no one thinks that their heart's wicked. We all think that we're naturally good. Deep, deep, deep down, we're all actually good.
And then verse 14, Jeremiah prays for his own deliverance. Verse 14, heal me, O Lord, and I shall be healed. Save me, and I shall be saved, for you are my praise. Crazy.
Do you have someone meeting you here at the farm?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll call it there. Anything to add, guys?
Summer launch,
Summer launch is going to be June 13th, I believe.
June 13th.
Yep.
Take advantage of our last day. This releases Monday of the Memorial Day sale.
This sale's gonna end Monday. That's the jacket right here, huh?
There's a chance that we do like 1 or 2 bonus days
Okay.
where we extend the sale, but it's not guaranteed.
Yeah, it's really.
So if this is like Tuesday or Wednesday, then you can double check the store and see if it's still
And
live.
to the
That's cool.
June 13th point, summer launch, I think this is the biggest launch we've ever done. 41 products are in there right now. I think we've done like 33 or 35 in the
You
past.
talking about the summer launch?
Yeah, we went ahead and combined, like we were going to do an athletic launch, but we decided rather than like have it be its own launch, we're just going to do these quarterly launches and just do a really big seasonal launch rather than like a launch every single month, just to kind of make them more special. And so, yeah, we have like a men's workout shirt. That's one of my favorite things we've ever done. We've got some men's workout shorts with liners. There's like 8 or 9 men's t-shirts. And that's not including the women's t-shirts. Tyler, you designed a jersey. We got performance stuff. It's going to be really fun. It's gonna be
Coffee
a fun
mug,
summer.
which sold out really quick last time.
Oh, you made a coffee mug?
Yeah, I was originally supposed to be in the fall, but I just bumped it to the summer. That's super cool. It's like an old school with a dove, a pheasant, and
Cool.
some other bird.
We'll release Granger's 9941 hat. That's been in the making for like a year. Yeah, if you're at Yee Fest, then you've seen some of it. We did release some of it early for people who came to Yee Fest.
2 quick things. One, we've been in some serious talks about doing this. We don't have a name for it, but it would be a tour, really. We'd go out on the road and do a live event with me, Tyler, Amber, Ant-Man, special guest, possibly Parker, if we can get him.
Well, you say me, I'm going to like work it. I'm not going to like be a part of it.
I would assume you'll be a part of it to some extent, but we've kind of wrestled with how to label it, how to brand it, what to name it, but because it's not a live podcast, and it's also not just the Smiths are heading to your town. It's a little bit of all the above, but we're going to come. It'll be a speaking tour where Amber and I will be able to come and, most importantly, probably meet you and come to several different cities. We spaced them out probably where it would be like 1 a week, so we're actually not consecutively touring. We just go out, do a city, go home, live our normal lives here. And the second thing I want to say is I've been wrestling with these two about opening up the farm in the fall for another type of event. Not nearly like Yee Fest, but just a time to some kind of fall, bring your families, come meet us, hang out, grab some merch for Christmas, things like that.
Yeah, maybe that can be more intimate because I saw a lot of people saying, hey, I wish I interacted with Parker more. Or I wish I interacted with the family more. And again, I apologize for that. We were just all over the place, and it was go from when we woke up to went to sleep. But maybe that can be, because I'm assuming it's going to be much smaller than what Yee Fest was, attendance-wise and production, all that. We will be able to be more involved and with people that day.
So be thinking about that. Yee Fest, hopefully every year we could do this. That's what we would plan. And it would be big and loud and big trucks and bands and but then we could do something in the fall that's much more just personal. Meet the brothers, meet the wives, bring a wife for Tyler, that kind of thing.
And
meet Brian and bring him a wife. Yeah. So comment below if you're watching on YouTube and you would consider coming to a city if we come to you, or coming to the farm in the fall.
Yeah, and I just realized we didn't address the fact that it was Memorial Day. We actually just released a Memorial Day t-shirt, which we did for the first time last year, which I think is a really cool way to honor those who have fought and died for our country. And it has John 15:13 on it, which I thought was a really cool way to kind of and John 15:13 is greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends, which is most ultimately exemplified in Jesus Christ laying down his life for those who would turn from their sins and trust in him, as he took on the penalty that we deserved, and then also greatly exemplified in a soldier laying down his life for those around him and for his country, so that we can sit here in Georgetown and do a podcast and shoot guns and live our lives. So,
You know what would get Parker to do the Murph? Watch Lone Survivor.
yeah, it's a great movie.
I watched that with Lincoln. Is it Lincoln too young for that movie, do you think?
I don't know. I don't really remember. It's probably been like 6 or 7 years.
Only
since
time I
watched
watched it was on the bus. We were touring somewhere with all the guys trying to be bros, and I was just crying my eyes out. I was like, I can never watch this again.
Yeah, I don't
One
know
time.
I remember thinking that too. I don't know if I could watch it again.
Very tough.
It's tough.
Very tough. Yeah, that scene when Murph is up on that rock with the cell phone, you know. That's a tough scene.
Cool. Thank you guys for listening.
We'll end it there.
Thank you all. Thank you to those who have served, and we remember those who laid down their lives for this country. Yee yee. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.